We will honor him for over 25 years of honorable and faithful service to his country and court. Please rise for our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the retiring officer for today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Percy Moore, Deputy G3, United States Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal to Master Gunnery Sergeant Charles P. Milner, United States Marine Corps, for service as set forth in the following. For outstanding meritorious service while serving as the Operations Chief, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command, for George G. Meade, Maryland, from August 2013 through July 2015. Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner distinguished himself by applying his wealth of knowledge and experience in support of operations through detailed planning, outstanding communication skills, and strong work ethic. For 2 years, he provided outstanding exercise support for more than 24 exercises and over 200 Marines to meet the operational requirements of the command. When not supporting deployments and exercises, he was responsible for developing and maintaining the appropriate manning levels necessary to increase operational effectiveness of the command. His experience ensured the right mix of expertise resided in the operations division. As a senior enlisted advisor to the operations officer, he consistently imparted his expertise to enhance the operations officer prosecution of global mission requirements. His superior performance of duty during his tour is the hallmark of a career devoted to accomplishing broad and diverse tasks, highlighting the culmination of 25 years of honorable and dedicated Marine Corps service. Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner's exceptional professionalism, personal initiative, and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For the President, Daniel J. O'Donohue, Major General, United States Marine Corps Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command. Master Gunnery Sergeant Charles P. Milner was transferred this date from the United States Marine Corps to the Fleet Marine Corps Reserve after 25 years of honorable and faithful active service. Joseph F. Dunford, Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. The flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the National Security Agency on 17 August 2015. This flag is presented to you on the occasion of your retirement. Admiral Michael S. Rogers, Commander, U.S. Cyber Command, Director, NSA. Letter of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Master Gunnery Sergeant Charles P. Milner, USMC. I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Dear Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner, the Marine Corps has been your occupation and family for many years past, and I am certain that the memories, interests, and the future of the Marine Corps will remain with you forever. Many desire to obtain your accomplished goals, but few can compare to you. You have clearly demonstrated the exceptional leadership qualities and professional contributions we seek of our senior Marines. We are proud, as you must be, of your successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, a source of wise counsel, and an example of those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many Marines you have influenced who will carry on in the same fine tradition that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, Joseph F. Dunford, General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to thank you for your many years of dedicated service to our Corps and selfless sacrifice to our country. You have done a tremendous job and will be missed. Your professionalism, efforts, and endurance have been inspirational during these challenging years and have set the standard for others to follow. As you embark on your new chapter of life, be extremely proud of all you have accomplished. My wife Susan joins me in wishing you a continued success in the future. Always faithful, Ronald L. Green, 18th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, now being escorted along Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner is his wife, Tracy. Certificate of Appreciation presented to Tracy L. Milner. On the occasion of Pat's retirement from active duty, you have earned the Corps' grateful appreciation for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped make possible his lasting contribution to our country, the United States Marine Corps, and the United States Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command. Given under my hand this 20th day of August 2015, Daniel J. O'Donohue, Major General, USMC, Commander, Mark IV Cyber. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Moore.
Thank you. In the famous words of my grandfather, I'm going to follow the 5 B's of speech making. That's be brief, brother, be brief. So I want to thank you all for joining us here on this momentous occasion. Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner, what an honor for you to ask me to be your retiring officer. I truly appreciate it. Keep with the be brief, brief, brother, be brief. I wrote a couple words down. Major General O'Donohue, thank you for joining us today. It's definitely an honor always to have you here. We welcome this momentous day, an honor to be asked to be the presiding officer. In my seat as a Deputy Operations Officer, I've been able to work with Master Gunnery Sergeant Pat Milner for the last 18 months. And in that time, we worked closely on many projects together. I got to know him very well. Having entered in boot camp in September 1990, over 25 years of your experience, I've heard that it's been exemplary, and I've read all the accolades about you. You spend nearly all of your time in the Signal Intelligence Corps, imparting your vast technical knowledge are at all levels of command, serving your final duty in the Marine Corps as the Operations Chief under Colonel Yoslowski and myself. I can personally attest to your value to any unit and the ability to explain technical concepts in a way that even this infantry officer could understand. In the time working together, you learn a lot about each other. You love the game of soccer as I do. Your girls are actually exemplary at soccer, as you always had told me. And to my surprise, you are fluent in Korean. Who would know that? So that was just amazing. But you're most known for increasing my paranoia level every day with articles of another method of how a 14-year-old could break into my computer at home. Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner, you'll be sorely missed by the Marine Corps, but now your tour of active duty has served its course. To your wife, Tracy, your 3 daughters, Izzy, Ellie, Abby, we thank them for your support and your sacrifices. It's the love and sacrifices of family members such as yourselves that keeps our Marine Corps strong and always ready to answer the nation's call should it come. Enjoy your time having them all to yourself now. You know, I'm trying to get you to move to Maryland, so you can still work on it. To his mother-in-law, father-in-law, Gordon and Joanne, he's your problem now, so good luck. To all of us, we really thank you for joining us today, but the day is about you, Master Gunner Sergeant Milner. Without further ado, the man of the hour, Master Gunner Sergeant Milner. Congratulations.
Being a cyber guy, I wrote my notes on my phone here for my speech here, so bear with me if I'm not playing games. My fingers are so sweaty now, my phone won't unlock. First of all, thank you, Major General Donahue, for coming. I do appreciate it. This is my actual second tour under Major General Donahue. We were with each other down in Quantico at Combat Development Directorate. He was the director down there. Both times, a great man to work for. I expect Tom and on one day or thereabouts. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Thanks again to everybody that helped put this on, especially Master Gunner Bill King over here. You did a ton of work putting this together, and Sergeant Major, I do appreciate everything. And the other folks that were in the background too. I know Sergeant Jackson, you got kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit with this, and I do appreciate everything you guys did do on this. My career's gone a long time. It's 25 years is a long time. My last day of work when I was 3 weeks ago was a real tough one. I think I'm gonna be fine today, but that was a tough day. Walking around and right before I turned in my badge and looking at all the Marines in uniform and looking down at my uniform and realizing that was the last time I was going to put that on ever. It's hard when you realize that I joined the Marine Corps at 18, so I have done this much longer than I haven't been a Marine. So it's tough. I never made the Marine Corps my only existence. Family was still a big part of it. And I always knew there was stuff outside, but I made it a point during a lot of my careers. I never lived in base housing. I never lived on base. I purposely went away from that to make sure that I didn't get into that thing, because I knew the Marine Corps was eventually going to end. Nevertheless, it's still a brotherhood, and it's still a closeness that nobody that hasn't done it will understand. I have been really lucky in my career. Not only with the assignments I've had, I still swear by the fact that the 2600 field is the coolest field in the Marine Corps. You still get to do all of the regular Marine Corps things. You still deploy out, and we have Marines patrolling with grunts every day in Afghanistan and Iraq, or we did when we were involved in combat operations over there, going outside the wire and taking part in firefights and everything else, all the things that the other Marines are doing. But there's a whole lot of unique assignments and opportunities that we get. If you look through my, Sergeant Major actually asked me, he's like, were you in the Navy earlier in your career? There's some pictures in the program of me in a poopy suit, dressed up as a Navy guy with a beard. And it's because I was able to do a submarine trip, direct support trip with the Navy. Rode submarines out of when I was in Hawaii, which is an experience I'm going to guess not a whole lot of Marines get. I've also had a chance to work with the Army Special Forces. I worked with Navy SEALs. I worked with Marine Force Recon back before MARSOC, and then with MARSOC, doing a lot of really cool things. I was actually supposed to apply for P3s too, but they kicked me out of Air Force School for having a broken leg. But unique opportunities and unique people too. There's a couple folks that were supposed to be here that didn't make it, that were definitely some unique characters, but there are some here as well that some friends from way back in the day. Dave Milne here was a Russian linguist going through DLI the same time I was going through. We actually have the exact same tattoo. Not on purpose. Well, we didn't go out together like tattoos together. But he had gotten one, and they actually used the exact same stencil that they had used on his. So the only difference is he gets Cuba, I think, and I didn't get Cuba, or there was some small change. Mike Ball, another guy, he's another Korean linguist who decided to leave the Marine Corps. I think he had longer hair as a Marine than he did after he joined the Air Force afterwards. But great guys that I've worked for. There's tons of John Gerardo, Army guy, but still another Korean linguist we had some tours with. I'm just looking at Greg Gallstead, another one, sir. Former, he used to actually work for me, and now he's an Army officer stationed here at Fort Meade. And Eric Hiltfold, retired Chief Warrant Officer. There's just so many people in here. Everybody in here means something to me. Now comes the advice part. Since I have you up here and you have to listen to me, there were a couple things mainly for the younger guy. Actually, this is for everybody, and that's the thing that's gotten me through my career and made me successful. And the piece of advice I can give to you is always challenge the status quo. The whole challenge authority thing, but a little bit less so because you're in the military and there is an authority piece. But just because that's the way they've always done it, doesn't mean that's the right way to do it. Likewise, don't always assume that your superiors know everything. Most times they don't, and most times they're relying on you to provide that advice. Don't be afraid to speak up and speak your mind and tell them they're wrong when they're wrong. However, if you're going to do that, you better be damn sure that you're right, because you're going to lose all credibility if you don't. Likewise, as you become more senior, don't discount the advice of your subordinates. I can't emphasize that enough. I would deploying to Afghanistan and Iraq and a bunch of other places as staff and CO. There was time after time after time where I was taking the advice of lance corporals, and sergeants, and a lot of times they were right. They don't always have. There's very few times they're going to have all the answers or have understand the entire picture, but there's going to be elements of truth in their advice, and you need to be able to pick those out and take them and go with it. So always look out for those Marines. You'll never notice, you'll never know when the smallest thing to you, and maybe even the smallest thing that you've done for somebody, will mean the world to a Marine. There was a staff and CO that I worked for many years ago, and I had said broken leg, and I was getting med boarded at the time, wondering whether or not I'd have a future in the Marine Corps. And she looked out for me. She went to bat for me, which to her was no big deal. It was just regular staff and CO work. It was Gunnery Sergeant Susan Bellis, who then became the Sergeant Major of 2nd Law before she retired. But those little things that she did for me that were just part of a regular everyday job meant the world to me, and meant somebody was looking out for me. And I've had Marines, since I've announced my retirement, hit me up on Facebook and talk about some incident that happened that I can barely remember, but to them, I mean, that meant more than anything to them, that I would have gone to bat for them in a time of need for them, a time when they really, it was a tough time for them. To me, it was just a normal everyday thing, and I didn't realize how tough it was, but the fact that I took 10 minutes out of my day to go and argue on their behalf meant everything. So always remember that, and always be willing to step up for those Marines that can't always speak for themselves. And not just Marines, anybody who goes just for life. Those are good life lessons, I think, period. I think that's pretty much it on that. I did want to say thank you to my family, my wife Tracy, and my kids, Izzy, Ellie, who's getting ready on speaking. It tells me I'm going on too long, and Abby. Thank you for putting up with everything, for moving around, for putting up with the hours of me not being there, or the TAD trips or the deployments or whatever else when you're without Dad. Thank you to my in-laws, Gordon and Joanne Kodama. They actually put us up for 5 years when we were stationed in Hawaii and had to put up with me hanging out there, which is another one of those things that meant the world to Tracy and I, because by them doing that meant that we could get the house we did here and get set up the way we did once we moved back here. And although they're not here, I want to say thank you to my family as well. Unfortunately, my dad passed away earlier this year. I really wish that he could have been here. He was prouder than anything that that he had a son that was a Marine. He had polio when he was a kid, so he never was able to join the Marine Corps himself or join the military, although I'm positive he would have been a Marine had he been able to. But the guy had Marine Corps stickers all over his car. He wore a Marine Corps baseball cap. I made the mistake of getting a boonie cover once, and he never took it off. But I know he would have been here, proud for me. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't make it either because some health issues that are going on. I do know they are here with me in spirit, and I do thank them, especially my mom. I left for MEPS, for the hotel, going to MEPS on my mom's birthday in 1990 on September 3rd, which is probably the worst birthday present that any mother could ever get, is sending her son off to, because at that time we had just gone into, or Saddam Hussein had just gone into Kuwait, and we were just deploying the first Marines or the first military to Saudi Arabia, getting ready for Desert Storm. So in those kind of unknown times, at that, having some guy in dress blues show up at your door and pick you up on or pick your son up on his birthday to send him off to what they assumed was going to be war, is probably not the best thing. So I still feel really bad for doing that tour, but it got me this job. So I'll leave it on that day. So I'll take it with what I can. Thank you all for coming here. Those that really wanted to see me go, I said there are a lot of people that RSVP'd, and I wasn't sure if because people liked me or if they really wanted to make sure that I left, or if they just wanted to get out of work early on a Friday afternoon. Whatever the reason, thank you for coming, because at least I have a full room and it looks like people liked me. And once again, thank you, and it's been great. Carry it on. Thank you.
Flowers are now being delivered to his wife, Tracy. Additionally, small gifts are being presented to his daughters, Isabella, Elena, and Abigail, for their continued support throughout the years.
Right. Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing Old Lang Syne and the Marines Hymn. concludes our ceremony. Please join us in congratulating Master Gunnery Sergeant Milner in his retirement.
I've never noticed, I've always been on the other end of this, and I've done it myself, seeing it sitting in your side, but I could see all of your beady little eyes staring at me, seeing if I'm gonna break down and start. The waterworks gonna turn on, and they start doing everything. So I didn't realize how quite bad it was until I was standing up here and could see them all.
Miss you already. Unfortunately,
You gotta break down.
you're working with this. Because I'm the first to blink for
That's why I was part of Pat, congratulations.
Beautiful granddaughter.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing? That's good. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, see you guys. We're glad you guys out too.
I'm not on Facebook, but I got your contact info. Stay in touch. You remember Frank Talon? He said hi. Yeah, he's at Dartmouth. I saw him down at Dartmouth.
Thank you.
Yes, we
I
got it.
appreciate it. This is actually, I recommend this in the future for things. My last command gave me a signed Cardinals bat. I'm a huge Cardinals fan as well, and I thought that was one of the coolest gifts ever. And it's actually toxic, I think. So it's a good memory. You know, you can stick it up there instead of having nothing. I know it's nothing against a plaque, but we all have, and any of us that have done some time have plaques, and these do mean something. This is going to mean something to me though, because it's really a culmination of everything I've done in my career.
All right, and after the soccer ball, can't kick this one around, but this is from the G3 as well. Yeah. Oh, you're too nervous.
Oh, he's heavy, right?
Yeah, exactly. So from the G3, Colonel Wise leadership put this together just for you as a memento of all your service to the Marine Corps. Not enough can be said for all you've done for the Marine Corps, and definitely done for us, helping us as the ops chief and keeping us straight, teaching two non-technical guys the business, translating stuff for us. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Joe, that's the whole different. You're a
I
master
appreciate
guy, so it only needs one.
Yeah,
I need one.
Yeah, sure.
I think my wife's close. I'm too, so let's.
Thank you.
I still refuse to open any email from him, particularly with the link. So.
I've told you before, I'm not going to go after you. Thank you again for everybody. I know that this didn't just materialize out of nowhere, so for all the ones that did take part in putting this together, thank you for that. This means a ton to me. I mean, I've gotten plaques over my career, and it's just like you get your order, then a plaque handed to you on the way out, and this one here, it's kind of that, like I said, that culmination of everything that I've done throughout my time and achieved. So thank you. Bottom of my heart for everyone for doing that.